Hey guys, Furum here, and today I'm going to be testing the McLaren M14A in multiplayer. I finally got the remaining blueprint I needed for this car during the Aranera Hasera GT Championship that happened not too long ago, so I decided to make a video about it. My rank is 1284, and my tuning is 90100. If I pro'd out tires, it would increase the rank to above 1300, and I don't want that, so I decided to stay at this rank. Now in this first race, I am coming up against two Cobras and an SLK. Yeah, this is gonna go well. So even though it starts up very quickly, the Donkervort still starts up quicker, and so I get knocked down at the very beginning. This car has kind of mediocre nitro efficiency, which is one reason why I went in that little small space to get more nitro, and so coming up to this section, I tried to get as much nitro as possible, and I do that throughout the rest of the race as well. And now I take revenge on this Donkervort, and then I wreck on a train. Moral of the story is, don't try to take revenge. It does not end up working very well for you. And so I'm just able to finally pass this guy, and I try not to knock him down this time, and I'm able to get past no problem. And so the cars that are ahead of me are the two Cobras and the SLK. But at this point, I managed to get ahead of one of the Cobras, and so I only have one ahead. So coming up to this turn, this car takes the turns a lot better than the SLK and Cobra, and so I managed to pass them both, even though the SLK bumped me from behind right there. So at this rank, this car can reach 242 miles per hour when you are in nitro, which, while not being as fast as a Cobra or SLK or M2, is faster than most other things at this rank. So had this been a one-lap race, I would have won for certain, but let's see how this car does on 2 laps. So neither of those cars took the long way. They're learning. The SLK is the one that is coming up really fast behind me. The Cobra even would not catch up that fast. I went to the side, so he would hopefully go by without knocking me down, and it worked. That's one good thing to do if there's a fast car coming up right behind you. Just go to one side and hope they pass without knocking you down, because chances are you will most likely not be able to knock them down. There's a very low chance that you'd be able to squish them against a wall, so yeah, that is a very good tactic. So the SLK has gotten slowed down, and he now is behind again. And of course, he does not take this turn as well as I do because of bad drifting, and so he gets even slightly further behind. Thankfully, the finish line is just around these 2 corners, and so he will not have time to catch up before I finish the race. So yeah, I beat an SLK and 2 Cobras in one race with an M14A. I'm telling you guys, learn Munich. It will do very well for you in multiplayer, because things like this will happen. The SLK was ranked 1303, and the Cobras were 1262 and 1248. So now for our next race, which is on Rio de Janeiro, one of the other newer tracks in Asphalt 8, against a Range Rover, a Vulcan at this rank of all things, and also a BMW M2. So this car handles very well, it drifts very well, it takes corners nicely, pretty much no matter how you try to take them through micro drifting or drift punching. Because of its good acceleration, I've managed to get ahead of all those cars at the beginning, but because the M2 out of those cars in particular has superior speed than me at this rank, he is ever so slightly catching up to me. I don't know what happened to him right there. I saw him in the corner of my screen, but he was not able to pass. I think he took the corner wide. Taking corners better than other cars in multiplayer may seem kind of insignificant, but it actually is one of the best ways to get ahead of cars that are faster than you, and stay ahead of them if you are ahead of them at the time. But also, any little mistake you make can cost you. Like here, I went up too high in this barrel roll, and the M2 didn't, and that allowed him to pass me. And since he is a little bit faster, as you can see here, I was not able to catch up to him, and the finish line was here. So any little things you do better or worse than other people in multiplayer can really be game changers. He was a 1302 M2, we beat a 1300 Vulcan, and a couple other cars which aren't very good in multiplayer. The Vulcan needs to be tuned to near 1500 before it will do any good at all. Our next race is on Cloud 9 against an MP4A low ranked and a Shelby Cobra. So the Cobra does start up just slightly faster than this car, but this one was a higher ranked one as well, and I knocked down the MP4A. Yeah, he's one of those people that got it through blueprints recently in an assembly cup or something, or just by collecting blueprints. Because those that got it through the championship will have it upgraded a lot more. The problem with just collecting blueprints for it enough to get it and not doing the championship is that you do not get any engines for it. So unless people have saved up a lot of racing engines from before, most of the new people who get these cars will have them very low in the upgrades because they can't find engines. And every single upgrade, I believe, on every F1 car except this one requires at least one engine. So I took the cave here, which is a faster route than taking the other way. He wrecked around the turn, and so I am now ahead of him by quite a little bit. But because the Cobra also has a superior speed at this rank, by about 10 miles per hour if he's tuned right, he starts to slowly catch up again. And I ran extra tanks in all of these videos, mainly because of this car's fairly bad nitro efficiency. Because, I mean, in places like these, it would just be really bad if I was single tanked and I ran out and have to wag. So extra tanks are certainly very useful in this car. And now, because I got this, I have all the F1 cars in the game. Hooray! I'm still missing one Porsche, the Cayman. I just missed the championship for it. So maybe I will get it if there's an assembly cup, I'm not sure. But I haven't had really any luck getting blueprints for that one. Thankfully, that is one of the worst Porsches alongside the Boxster, I would say, so I'm not too worried about not having it for that reason. So that Cobra caught up to me just before we went our separate ways again. Now, going in the cave is faster on this direction in the track. However, going the other way, going in the cave is slower. Because going the other direction, there's a little shortcut you can take going the other way that makes it faster. And then here, something crazy happened. We both went in the exact same spot at the exact same time. And guess what? I wrecked and he didn't. Nice. So that has happened to me multiple times in R&Ds and things where I'd be coming one way and they'd be coming the other way at the exact same time, but I never expected it would happen in multiplayer. That is a very weird occurrence, and I'm fairly certain it does not happen very often unless it's planned. So if you can take the cave on going this direction pretty reliably without wrecking in it, you can certainly beat some cars that you would not be able to otherwise. So that Cobra was a 1328, he was overranked, and there was a 1289 MP4A. So in this race, I knocked down an M2 at the beginning because I start up faster than him, but then my computer lagged at the worst possible moment going around the turn, which caused me to wreck. I think my computer and Gameloft have some sort of secret messenger or something, so they can lag me at the perfect times. So another car in this race is a Camaro. Will we be able to beat him? It's one lap on Dubai, so we will see. So an M2 at this rank goes around 5 miles per hour faster than me, I would say, so that is why he is not getting all that much ahead of me. And the Camaro behind me is not catching up that much because a Camaro around this rank goes maybe 10 miles per hour faster, and here I managed to pass that M2 because I took the turn better than him. But unfortunately, I did not flat spin there, and then I triple tapped here, so I ended up running out of nitro, which allowed the M2 to catch up to me a little bit past this ramp and knock me down. See, every little decision you make in multiplayer is crucial to your success, or your downfall in this case. So even though we lost to a higher M2, we beat a Camaro that was triple boosted as well. You'll need to tune your Camaro to at least 1390 if you want it to be very good. So in this race, I came up against a 1259 M2, which is my tune 05045050 with an elite tuning of top speed all the way up and everything else all the way down, but with one extra handling upgrade. That's what Mr. Mysterious Spyman has his at. That M2 tune of mine starts up nearly as fast as a Cobra and pretty much as fast as this car. I will put a link to my multiplayer video about it in the description. Now, since this M2 was not actually catching up like I expected, I can only assume that he was slightly mistuned and just happened to get the same rank. That's the only thing I can really think of in this case, because he's only going about the same speed as me, and that 1256 or 59 M2 tune should be able to go about 5 miles per hour faster. Oh yeah, and you can't change the paint color of any of the F1 cars, so I could not make it purple. So now it's time for me to give my general review of this car. It is very good, and certainly worth it to save blueprints up for. It's only 12, and I was able to get 6 through opening boxes and 6 through the assembly cup for it. It is superior to pretty much everything at this rank except for the M2 Cobra and SLK. those of which it can occasionally beat, and if it can't beat them, it can certainly hold its own pretty well against them, as you've been able to see in this video. In my most recent live stream, I faced Dr. Illusion in his M14A of the exact same tuning and rank as mine, so I'll put a link to that in the description as well. So we have beat this M2, as well as another Vulcan. So thank you all for watching. Please like the video if you enjoyed it, and consider subscribing for more Asphalt 8 videos, and I will see you later. Goodbye.